Welcome to the Sports Drink Club. I am your host, Patrick Melton, along with my co-host, Keenan Duke, and I am sad.
Why are you sad, bro?
Man, because I lost all these sweet tea bets, man, in a matter of 48 hours, and they're
and
it's just been just
let me
haven't been too good. Yeah, can I get a
let me get a sweet.
Yeah, I owe you a couple
Many-
free teas, bro. Fun packed full of adventure in the sports world in the last 24 hours, last 48 hours, I should say, with the Champions League, NHL hockey, NBA basketball. But today we're focused on Champions League. And Keenan, I owe you some sweet teas.
Okay. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
The Blues did win against
the
Stars. I did say that it would go 7 games. I did say that.
Yeah, you did. But still, yes. You owe me a sweet tea.
Yes, I owe you a sweet tea there. And I also owe you one with Barcelona losing yesterday against Liverpool. No.
So happy about that.
I know you are, bro.
Screw Barcelona.
You and the whole world, man. But we're still proud, man. We're still prideful. Still proud, man. It was a great series, pretty much anyway. Golden State won tonight, by the way. They're up 3-2, and the Celtics are going home. All them Bucks fans out there. Shout out to my man Gary Rodham. I know that he's a big Bucks fan, and shout out to my man Ziff for providing the tunes for us.
I know.
Yeah,
that was dope. I like that.
That was definitely clutch right there, man.
I like that,
Ziff, bro.
Might have to start using that for the intro.
Absolutely. Z-Man, a.k.a. Ziv, a.k.a. He's got a whole bunch of them. But let's get into it real quick. Besides your sweet teas that you owe,
you owe.
I'm sorry. I appreciate it. I'm sorry. Besides the sweet teas that I owe, let me just go and just ask you right off the top, man. Is this like the best Champions League that you have seen, like the best Champions League semifinals that you've ever seen? I mean,
I won't even say it. Won't even say like this is clearly the best semifinals, but just period. Like this might be the best Champions League year for sure.
Yeah,
like it's been so amazing, like watching all the games. Because even in the quarterfinals, you had Tottenham and Manchester City, which was an amazing matchup. Manchester City almost came back on Tottenham. It's just been absolutely wonderful to watch, to see Ajax just storming through all these large clubs that spend about triple their budget on players and all that. This year's been absolutely amazing to watch. I've been enjoying every single matchup.
I 100% agree with you, man. Of course, you had all the big heavy hitters that were in the Champions League this year. And it was just great to see this magical run by Ajax, man. Shout out to them, man. That and their whole entire fan base, man. They really came out tonight, they really came out tonight, and it's unfortunate how that happened against Tottenham, but man,
I mean, it is, but at the same time, it's like, man, like you have to give it up to Tottenham because, I mean, watching that game, the first half, you would have thought that Ajax like had it in the bag, which maybe they felt that going into the half, and maybe that's what did them in. Because literally watching Tottenham in that first half, they seem lethargic. They seem like they had no clue what to do. They had zero creativity. It's just like they couldn't get anything done. And on top of that, they were down 2-0. So on aggregate, they're down 3-0.
Exactly.
And so it's like, there's no way. I won't say there's no way, but it's like, it's so highly unlikely, especially watching how Tottenham was playing that first half, that Tottenham's going to come out in the second half and score 3 goals. But at the same time, give it up to Pochettino, because that man has shown time and time again that he can change tactics and get his team playing in different styles and get his team up for, a second half at any point in time. Like he's done it time and time again. But I do feel incredibly bad for Ajax, because I was rooting for them because they're that small team that's lasted and knocked off all these giants. And to see them, to potentially have seen them go to the finals and potentially win, Like that would have been an amazing story because literally they like out of all the big teams that are in this tournament, like their spending budget is less than 100 million, while every other team is spending like 300, 400, 5, some $600 million on their players,
Right.
and they're spending less than
100%.
100. Yeah.
And that's one of the coolest things about how the Champion League is set up is that any of these smaller teams can make this magical run like Ajax did. I mean, it's almost similar to watching, the NCAA playoffs, the NCAA tournament, and having these small teams make a run and beat some of these giants or the blue bloods, as you would say, like the Barcelonas, like the Man Cities, like the Liverpools, like the PSGs of the world. And I thought it was a very good match, considering that Tottenham is still not at full strength with Harry Kane out. Talk about
and
this
Davidson
guy.
Sanchez.
Yeah, and talk about this guy, Lucas Moura, okay,
Woo.
who basically is the stand-in for Kane. He goes on a tear today. He has a hat trick. I mean, where were you at when you were watching that?
I was at work. So I watched all the games at work because I have a 2-monitor setup. So I have like one monitor that has basically all the work that I'm doing. And then I have another monitor that basically I just watch the games on. And so
that work is supposed to be on.
No, I can split work, but I can do all my work on one screen. So it just happens to work out that way. But yeah, and so like I'm watching the game, and obviously like I'm having to kind of keep my emotions down to like as low of a level as possible, so I'm not like screaming in the middle of the office and all of that. Although I kind of did a couple times in this game. But yeah, and I was at work when I was watching it, and it was just amazing to like watch what happened, like watch what Lucas Moura was able to do. Like if you were watching him, like that second half, like he was such a ball of energy. Like he was all over the place.
Exactly.
Like if you watch the first goal that he scored, it was like a play that Dele Alli, he had kind of like knocked the ball on, and it went to Dele Alli, and he's dribbling with it, and Lucas Moura like didn't skip a beat. Like normally most people kind of make that play, like that touch, and they kind of like slow down and kind of like let the play continue. Like he didn't miss a beat. Like he just kept moving down the field, and Dele Alli kind of like made this move inside, but like the ball kind of got away from him a little bit, and Lucas Moura just like ran onto it, and Dele Alli like let him have it, and he just like put it nicely past the goalkeeper to the goalkeeper's right. And it was just like, okay, Tottenham's back in it. You know what I mean? Like they got some work to do, but they're back in it. And then like literally 2 minutes later, they score. Like Lucas Moura scores again on a nice play, which the goalie for Ajax, Onana, my bad, Onana. He had a great game too. Like both goalies, in all honesty, like had a great game. Like and there's literally like no knock that you can have on either team because both teams played an amazing game. It just, Ajax ended up on the unfortunate end of it.
Right.
But,
and, I think that in this situation, you saw where, a more experienced ball club like a Tottenham did not, crumble in high pressure moments like that. You know what I'm saying?
Because and you're right, because like
this is where
Ajax, I was just gonna say like Ajax, like they're a very young team. Like most of their players are 24 years and younger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And experience does make a difference in sports. I mean, I really have been a believer in that if you've already been there before, you know how to react. You don't ever let a moment get too big, even though that they've experienced those sorts of particular situations in the games that they've had previous to this. But they were learning on the fly. Okay. They were learning how to handle this sort of pressures on the fly. This was their first time ever being in the Champions League. This is probably the first time that some of these players have been on a huge national stage like that. That's not international football. You know what I'm saying? So in that regards, you just saw the difference. Okay. And shout out to Tottenham, because in that moment in stoppage time, I really didn't think that they had a shot. Okay. I mean,
There,
talk about like a Hail Mary type play at the
well, there was one moment where it
last
looked like
second.
that.
Hello?
Yeah, you were cutting out.
Are you there?
I'm there. I'm here now. Yeah, but you were
Where
cutting out.
where did it cut out at?
It cut out right when you were talking about like how you didn't think they really stood a chance, like in stoppage time. Is your connection okay?
Yeah, I don't know, man. What's going on today? Full strength right now.
Okay.
All right, so
What's your bars look like? What's your connection?
I say I'm at four bars.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. You seem okay now. So yeah,
Yeah.
just start from like you didn't think they stood a chance like around the stoppage time and all that.
Okay. So I didn't think that Ajax actually stood a chance, okay, in stoppage time, at least to me, because the momentum of it was already going so much more forth with Tottenham. I don't know. It was like a Hail Mary type play at the end. Of course, advancing to the next round, okay, always you got to have a little bit of luck. Was this a lucky play? Yeah, sure. I mean,
I
but
mean,
at the
like
same
all of
time,
them.
that was like it was meant to be. It was meant
Yeah,
to be
no,
for
it
Tottenham.
was. I mean, and honestly, like I thought that Tottenham had a chance, like all the way up in stoppage time. I was like, they can still score like in stoppage time, but my hope for them kind of diminished on the play where Vertonghen had that header and it hit off the bar, and then it came right back to him, and he kind of like
Ooh,
he
that's
barely was
right.
able to get some on his like kick to try and score, but then like the defender was like standing there and blocked it, and then like kicked it away. And at that moment, I was like, oh man, that was it. Like that was their moment. Like that was their chance. Like they probably don't have it anymore. And to literally watch, I mean, and this is how crazy it was. Like that was the third goal, the final goal that sealed Ajax's fate. Literally happened on the absolute last chance that Tottenham had. Like there's 5 minutes of extra time given, and if you were watching the clock when all of that was going down, literally
Exactly.
as the ball falls to Lucas Moura's
There's
foot,
about 5 seconds left.
no, there was literally it literally clicked to 5 minutes right when he kicked the ball. It was at
Right.
5 minutes. So if at any point that ball goes wide, or if and goes out of bounds, or if he saves it and like a defender like runs onto it and like boots it away and clears it, like the whistle's blowing and that's game. Like they literally scored with 0 seconds left in extra time. Like that's
Wow.
how miraculous that goal was. And it was just, oh my god, I couldn't believe it happened. Like 3 goals in one half
I
to
just
come back
remember
and win it.
just being like at my desk today. I'm on the phone making calls. I'm trying to make deals happen, and I'm just running around acting like I scored the damn goal. Okay. I'm sitting there.
Did you see? Did you see? You watched that clip that I sent you of Steve Nash
Yeah,
from
that was
BR Sports?
that's crazy, man, that he started crying, man. Like he's a huge
He was
Tottenham guy, man.
yeah, he's a huge Tottenham Hotspurs fan, and he was literally almost brought to tears by the results
He
of that
did
game.
get brought to tears. That dude was crying.
No, Steve, yeah, like they literally brought Steve Nash to tears, which was
He
cool. But like, it was just yeah, it was just a great game, you know,
crying.
to watch them. I absolutely love that, and for it to be off the heels of like the Liverpool Barca game, like you watch that game, you're like, oh, there's no way that it can get any better than that, and then they deliver this, and it's just one of those things. Like I watch it, and it's just like it's like, man, this semifinals was absolutely insane. But it's like
Man,
I feel bad for Ajax because like they're such a young team, and it's just I wish that this types of instance would happen more often with like smaller teams. Like keeping their really good players, like their stars, because it's like if they would keep them, then that club could become something great. And you've seen it with just like Ajax is kind of like a farm system for so many teams. Like their youth system is like their youth academy is like top notch in the world, and like, it's probably the best, and it's kind of well known. But it's like if they would have kept some of their players that they've had like come through there in the past, like they would be absolutely unstoppable right now. Because like think
Right.
about it, you got the players that they have right now with Frankie De Jong, Mathis de Ligt. You got Ziyech, who had an amazing tournament. And so it's like, but then you look at the players that they've had in the past. They literally had Christian Eriksen, Toby Alderweireld, Jan Vertonghen, and Davinson Sanchez, who all play for Tottenham now.
Right.
And on top of that, they had Luis Suarez at one point. They had Milik, who plays for Napoli now, who was that Polish player who like got booted from the team in the World Cup because he didn't want to come in, like get subbed in.
Exactly.
And they even had like Moses Simon, who's like this really solid like Nigerian player.
Right.
So it's like if you keep all those guys along with the players that you have now, like who's gonna beat you?
Exactly.
And it's like it's similar to AS Monaco in 2016, 2017 when they had the team that they had that lost out to Juventus in the semifinals because they beat Manchester City and Dortmund along the way. But if you look at that team, they had João Moutinho, who's a Portugal like standard, Ramadal
Right.
Falcao, Fabinho, who plays for Liverpool, who literally made that tackle at the end of the Barca game to basically seal that game. Bernardo Silva, who is absolutely playing out of his mind for Manchester City this season. Benjamin Mendy, who plays for Manchester City. Kamil Glik, who's a Polish like defender who's like standard for them. Thomas Lemar, who plays for Atletico Madrid now, and of course Kylian Mbappe, who's like the best player in the like one of the best players in the world right now.
100%.
It's like if they keep that team together and bring in some more people, like that team could be amazing. So it's like I wish smaller teams would keep their good players instead of like selling them off to like the Barcelonas and the Real Madrids of the world. Just so like these smaller teams could come up and we can get like a little bit more diversity within like the game of, soccer.
Exactly. And that it's very top heavy. There's no uh there's no salary cap or any sort of rules in that in that regard. So yes, it's wide open. The rich are going to continue to stay rich. It would be great to see some of these smaller ball clubs be, in the mix more and be more competitive if they were to keep their young players that they, help, that they basically, trained and molded to get to where they are right now. It would definitely be good to see. But at the end of the day, we both know the EPL's got a lot of money. La Liga's got a lot of money. Okay.
Well, Real Madrid and Barcelona have a lot of money.
Well, yeah, that too.
I wouldn't say La Liga has a lot of money. Barcelona, Real Madrid, and like Atletico Madrid have a lot of money.
Yeah, that's 100% true. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those situations where Ajax today, it's going to suck seeing this team get broken up, but we definitely will be keeping an eye on these players.
They're going to be some vultures.
Oh,
coming like vultures. Like you already got Frankie De Jong going to Barcelona next season.
Yes, sir.
And Mathis de Ligt has been linked with Barcelona as well. But he was linked to Chelsea. Man, screw that. I hate Barcelona. All they do is poach. It's so annoying. Yeah, rich keep getting richer.
Richer, baby. But speaking of Barcelona, I was at Buffalo Wild Wings yesterday watching this game. First of all, shout out to Buffalo Wild Wings, man. They got a great spicy garlic wing, bro. That's just I love that sauce, bro.
What are your favorite sauces? What are your favorite Buffalo?
I always go if I'm at Buffalo Wild Wings, bro, I always get the spicy garlic and I get the Asian zing with the Caribbean jerk too.
Okay.
Those are my three go-tos right
Those are
there.
your three go-tos? I normally rock the lemon pepper and the what is it? The garlic the garlic parmesan one?
And
Is
this
that
is
what
from
that
Buffalo
is?
Wild Wings. Are you talking Wingstop or Buffalo Wild Wings? There's a
No,
difference.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay, so
They got
you
the
like the
lemon
garlic
pepper.
parmesan sauce?
Yes, that one. And lemon pepper.
Okay,
Those are
I
those
do
are my
lemon
two.
pepper.
Yeah, I
I'm
love
more of
pepper.
a lemon pepper Wingstop guy. To be
Okay.
honest,
I don't
I
really
like
go to
lemon pepper
Wingstop
from
that much.
Wingstop.
I just feel like there's more Buffalo Wild Wings around, so I tend to just wind up there more times than
I hear
not.
you on that.
Yeah.
Well, I was in attendance at Buffalo Wild Wings yesterday, watching my team Barcelona get blanked. Very interesting series. Um, simply because I know you think it's funny, bro, but there were no away goals the whole entire series, dude.
I know it was insane. Like everybody, it's like no one scored if they weren't playing at home.
Yes,
It was
we
like a
got blanked.
kryptonite or something like that. It was the most beautiful blank of all time.
Jeez, man.
It was so beautiful
Bro, let me
watching
tell you something.
Liverpool
My
manhandle
my
Barcelona.
message, my inbox and my text messages was blowing up yesterday, bro.
For real. I noticed you got real quiet. You
Yes,
ain't really say nothing to me, bro. Because I know after Barcelona won that first game, you were like texting me like crazy, just like Messi, Barcelona, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was nice to you. I let you be. I didn't really like rub it in your face too much. Although I did send you a bunch of gifts of like people celebrating.
yes, you did send a bunch of gifts to me, a bunch of people celebrating, but I'd like to make up an interesting point.
Okay.
Was this more of Messi disappearing, or was this more so on the defense just getting throttled? Okay, because Luis Suarez came out and said that the defense played like a bunch of kids yesterday.
Damn, he
Okay,
threw his team under
that,
the bus like that.
that he literally said that defenders played like kids against Liverpool yesterday, and to be 100% with, I mean, I, I'm a I'm I'm with Luis Suarez on this, man. They looked lost yesterday.
They did, but at the same time, I don't think you can take away what Liverpool did and what their game plan was. Because if you watch that game from start to finish, Liverpool, pardon my French, got after that ass. Like
They did.
they showed no mercy. Like they were physical, but like not so physical to where like it was like rough and like you could like there should have been a bunch of like cards and stuff. Like it's not like they were like so rough and physical that it was like annoying. They were
Right.
just like really getting after Barcelona, and Barcelona like didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can really take away because like the first half, like Messi kind of had a few chances. Like they
Definitely
didn't
did.
really they didn't really lock down Messi that well. Like I won't say like not that well. Like obviously they did because he didn't score, but Messi did have a few chances in that first half. The second half, they completely locked that man out, and he would completely disappear from the game in the second half. And so did Suarez. Like Suarez didn't do anything.
Nah, Suarez didn't do
Like
anything.
neither one of them did anything.
I just felt like yesterday was just an onslaught. Like, and they put so much pressure on their defense that something was going to happen. Something was bound to break. But you didn't think that 4 goals was going to be you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, yeah, yeah. Like, I don't think
that's
anyone saw
crazy.
that coming. Like, no one. Like, but if you think about it, like, if that was gonna happen, it was gonna happen with those two teams because
Exactly.
because didn't this happen to Barcelona the last year in the Champions League? Didn't this
Barcelona
happen
was
in
up
the
on Roma. This was the same thing that happened.
yeah
Yes,
in the
they lost in the
quarterfinals?
second leg. Yep, that's
Yeah,
exactly right.
the same thing happened to them, and then on top of that, like Liverpool has kind of had a history of making these miraculous comebacks. Like it's
Yep.
kind of in their blood, like for Liverpool to make these miraculous comebacks, and for Barcelona to just blow these huge leads.
And you know what? I could see it to where in this particular situation that whoever was going to get the last game could have won. That played definitely a factor for both teams. And in this situation, how much do you think the EPL, situation played into Liverpool's motivation to beat Barcelona? Because Mo Salah, even though he was injured, I think that he still could have played. But why do you believe that they sat him out? Was it because you believe that they thought that, okay, maybe this game is pretty much, out of the question. We need him to win EPL? Or was Mo Salah just really injured?
No, he was injured. He got hurt in the Newcastle game over the weekend. He had like a head injury. I was actually watching that game, and he did legit get hurt towards the end of that game, so that's why he was held out for this one.
Right.
So it wasn't that they just were trying to hold him out because they want a chance to win the APL, and which is what I'm saying. Like I actually think what's going on in the EPL actually might have played a hand into like the motivation that Liverpool had for this game against Barcelona, because right now Manchester City is basically in the driver's seat, and the only way they can lose is if Manchester City doesn't win and Liverpool does. But Manchester City's playing Brighton, and so like that's not, they should handle that game. So in all likelihood, Manchester City's winning the EPL, and Liverpool's not going to, unless Brighton pulls off some miraculous result. And so to me, it was almost kind of like one of those moments where I feel like, knowing the type of personality that Jurgen Klopp is, he's probably like, listen, guys, if we're gonna win anything this year, it has to be the Champions League. That's our only chance to win anything this year, because we're most likely not gonna win the EPL.
Right.
So let's go out here and like put it to Barcelona, and let's win the Champions League so we can win something. Because in all honesty, in the past 2 years, like, it's kind of unfair that Liverpool hasn't won anything. Like, they've played well enough that they deserve to win some hardware. And so like this could be the year, especially after what they did to Barcelona. So I'm just thinking
Exactly.
that the situation with how everything played out this weekend in the English Premier League, that kind of gave them more motivation to want to win uh, some sort of like tournament this year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think that Liverpool's going to end up, winning the Champions League. That's my new pick now. They gave Barcelona their first loss in Champions League, which
What do you
happens
mean?
to this was the first time that Barcelona has actually lost in in regulation time, like where it's not a tie and it's not like this is their first loss that they've had all Champions League. Like basically they've won every game in Champions League up
Oh,
to
this
now,
season. Got
like the
you. Okay.
season, like yeah,
Yeah.
for Champions League. So
Wow.
this
That's
this is
amazing.
Barcelona's first loss to Champions League that actually equals their dismissal for the whole entire tournament. But
Mm.
consolation prize for all you Barcelona fans out there. Copa del Rey final is on the
Yay.
25th of May, and we will be playing, I believe, Valencia, if I'm not correct.
Yay.
Be playing
Cons-
Valencia on the 20th. Hey, I'll take another cup. 2 cups in 1 year. I'll take it.
I mean, I'm sure I mean, if there's a definition for consolation, probably like that is it.
Yes, it
Because
is.
they literally, Messi got back to the airport and everything in Barcelona, and fans were there like booing him and like chastising him.
Bro, that's messed up, bro. And that's being very, very selfish as a fan, okay? That we expect these athletes, okay, to play at peak performance level like every single game, especially these athletes that are as big as Messi or Ronaldo or LeBron James or anybody else that you want to name that's at the top of their game. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
unfair, okay, to
Yeah.
boo somebody that's
Yeah.
literally going down as one of the greatest in history, if not the
Mm-hmm.
greatest, depending on what
Yeah.
sport they play. Okay,
Yeah.
it's completely unfair, and I think it's stupid that fans would even
No, it
do that.
is.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it's
Especially
completely
Barcelona
unfair for
fans
those guys.
who've got
Yeah,
trophies
like
out
they
the
win
ass.
everything. Like, come on. Yeah, like come on. Like, you have nothing to complain about. Like, go talk to if you're in the Spanish league, like go talk to Getafe fans. Like, talk to those Villarreal fans, Sevilla fans. Like, those guys barely win anything. Like, as a Barcelona fan, you have zero right to complain about any losses. You know what I
Zero.
mean? Yeah.
Zero. Well,
So
like I said, Barcelona, Copa del Rey final, 5:25. Get your popcorn ready. Um,
I'm
what do
not
you
gonna
think?
be watching that
Well,
game.
what do you think about this all English final, man? This is the first final since Man U and Chelsea in '08. This is the last time that someone from the EPL has even won the Champions League was against my other squad, Bayern Munich, when Chelsea won in 2011. Big Drogba.
I was
Uh,
happy about that because I don't like Bayern Munich either.
you don't like any of the teams I like, man. That's messed
Nope.
up, man.
It's because you like all these people who spend like crazy. I mean, I like teams that spend crazy money too,
Yeah,
but
you
like,
do. Don't be acting like you don't like Real Madrid, like they hadn't won five. Like they hadn't won five over here hating, bro. Like you don't like Real Madrid, who's won damn near
I
all
mean,
the Champions Leagues, 4 out of 5
Real,
within the last 5 years. Come on, bro.
and you know who's on that squad?
Who was on that squad?
Yeah, and who was that?
Cristiano
Christy.
Ronaldo.
Yes, sir. and they don't say he's the best player in the world. Get out of here.
Hey, man, it's debatable, man. It's definitely
It is
debatable.
very. We're gonna have to have that debate at
We
another
will
at
have
another
that
time.
debate, man. We will have that debate. But let me just ask
Yeah.
you something. Just how good are Jurgen Klopp and Coutinho and as managers? Who do you like in this final, and why?
I think I like Jurgen Klopp in Liverpool in the final. You said that you think Liverpool's going to win. I believe they're going to win as well. But as we've seen with these two teams, anything can happen.
Exactly.
And like I said, I think the genius in Mauricio Pochettino is that he's able to like adapt his game plan at any moment. So I think that's what will make this matchup so interesting because I do think that Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool are in the most likely scenario or the team that's going to come out like fiery, ready to go, probably score a goal, maybe two, but at the same time, like because of Pochettino and his ability to like morph his game plan and get his players to understand, hey, this isn't working, we need to try this, and if this isn't working, we need to try this, and they're able to kind of mold and adapt to whatever situation has seemed to crop up and bend and not break to a sense. I think that's what will make this matchup interesting if that does happen. Like if Liverpool does get up, how Tottenham's going to respond to that, and how Pochettino is going to have his team respond to that. So I think that's what will make this game like really interesting to watch for a lot of fans because Jurgen Klopp's just like a ball of energy, and he gets his and the thing is, both of them are like they are player coaches. Like they seem to like really identify with their players. They seem to really be able to connect with them and get them to play how they want to play and like follow their lead, which is a staple of a good manager. So,
Exactly.
but me personally, I just think Liverpool is too good of a team. Just and why I say that is like their defense.
Yeah.
Their defense is probably one of the best defenses out there. It's just it's hard to get anything by them.
Yeah, I hear you on that. And I'm just going to revert back to an episode that we've had, or just conversations that we've had before with Liverpool. I said if they get back into this position again, where they're in the finals, it's going to be really hard to win again. I mean, to win against this team twice. I think that it's.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're experienced. I think they're hardened. They're
Mm-hmm.
battle tested, and there's really
Like
no.
both of them are.
I
Like
know.
both teams are. Like it's insane, and that's the thing. Like it's been interesting. Like you know, with even Tottenham, like they almost lost against Manchester City, like literally the other best team in the English Premier League.
Right.
Probably most people probably consider them like literally probably the best team this year out of any team. And so to watch them bend, but like I said, not break against a great team as Manchester City, you have to give Tottenham their props. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like they're no
We'll
slouches
definitely give them
themselves.
their props for sure. I like I said, I believe that Liverpool is going to end up winning this match just off of pure experience alone. They've already been here. They've been in this position before. And I also felt that the winner of Liverpool and Barcelona was going to win the Champions League. I felt like we watched the championship game yesterday, and whoever was going to come out of that was going to end up being the winner. I just have a really hard time at this moment seeing Liverpool drop it this time, especially with last year, how they lost Mo Salah early in the game.
Yeah, that was sad.
Full strength this year. I know that Tottenham said that Harry Kane may be back for this game. I'm not sure if that's going to be, anything that's going to throw a wrinkle at Liverpool, but these teams know each other really well. Should be in for a good final. I'm definitely excited. If you are out there listening right now, we want your opinion. We want to know, who do you think's going to win? We definitely will be posting on our stories. We'll definitely be reaching out and seeing what the public thinks. Okay.
Yeah.
Who you got? You got Liverpool. Do you have Tottenham? We want to know. Sports Drink Club wants to know. We'll drink to it.
Should we have a couple good old English pints?
For every goal scored, I will drink a shot.
A shot?
I hope there's no goal.
I'll do that with you. Watch it be like a 5-4 game.
Okay, let's just do this. Let's make it more entertaining. For every shot attempt for Liverpool, I'll drink. For every shot attempt for Tottenham, you drink.
Wait, okay, that's fine because I like Tottenham too. Like I'm flexible. Like even though Liverpool's like my squad, like Tottenham's like my second squad, so it's kind of like I'm okay with either result, but I would prefer that Liverpool win. But since you think Liverpool's win, I'll roll with the Tottenham.
Okay, so. But I think that you think Liverpool's going to win too. We're just talking about for shot purposes.
Okay, then yeah, you take Liverpool, I'll take Tottenham.
So for every shot taken in the game,
man,
do you want to take a shot? Are we going to make it through the game if we do something like that?
I don't know. I feel like I need to look up the shot total for this last game because I feel like each team had 20 something shots between them.
We'll poll the
let me look that up real quick.
Should we take a shot for every shot attempt in the championship game? Who wants to see one of us pass out?
No, I don't think we can do that, bro. I don't think we can do that. If it was a game like today between Ajax and Tottenham, we're gonna die.
What was it?
Tottenham took 24 shots. Ajax took 16.
Okay, not bad.
That's 40 shots. We're dead. We're dead if we do that. We cannot do that. We could do shots on goal.
Shots on goal. I'll take that.
Tottenham had 7 shots on goal. Ajax had 4.
Okay.
We could potentially do shots on goal.
Shots on goal.
Shots on goal. That's more fitting. Shots on goal
equals a shot. Okay, yeah. I like that.
Okay.
You could follow us, guys. This is your first time listening at Sports Drink Club. That
Saturday, June 1st might be a rough day for us.
Saturday, June 1st. We may even have it on Facebook Live or on IG Live. Take a shots on goal. Just be ready to go. Who knows? All right. We are some wild cats. Okay.
No pun intended.
Whatever. for all them Wildcats alumni up there who know us.
Playing the Wildcats.
The Europa League also, the Little Champions League, is also in the final with Chelsea and Arsenal, as Chelsea looks to get back into the Champions League after not being there for the last 2 years.
They're in it now. They're in it. It's official.
For sure. Yeah, they're in it now. But it's been a while since they've been back. Hopefully, Chelsea can get back on top and win the Little Champions League.
They're going to have to.
Because
next year is going to be rough for them with that no transfer ban that they're facing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, it has been an incredible year for English teams, mainly because, the league that they play and the schedule that they play, it's rigorous, it's rough. As one person would tell me, the EPL is the SEC of football, and then there's everyone else. I don't know how much I want to believe that. We could definitely debate that one day, but two English teams in both Europa and in the Champions League. That's pretty gosh darn good.
No, that's pretty incredible to me, just because the difficulty. I feel like English teams almost have a more difficult time finding their way to finals of the Champions and Europa League, just because of the difficulty of their league schedule and just how rigorous every single match is for that league, week in and week out. Like most leagues, like the Spanish Premier, like Spanish league, La Liga, the French league, the German league, German Bundesliga. Um, those teams, like there's a few weeks where you might not be facing that good of a team, and so you could probably
That's
maybe use your subs and not really have to worry about a result, because it'll most likely you're gonna come up out on top. But with the English Premier League, every single week is a battle. Like every single team is you never know what the result's gonna be like. And this year was like the epitome of that. Just like with the results that you were seeing, and like how the table has like kind of shaped this year, to where to see the English teams do as well that they have this year is absolutely incredible. But at the same time, I think that's why you've seen them get the results they have, surprisingly, this year, with like them having like the fortitude not to give up and not break even when it seems like all hope is lost. Because it's
exactly.
like they face this rigorous challenge every single week in the Premier League, towards like when they get in those situations here in in the Champions League and the Europa League, they kind of have the wherewithal and the fortitude to like push forward and be like, no, we still have something more in us to give, and they've managed to pull it out, which kind of speaks to like the depth that they have this year. Um, but it's just like to see Liverpool and Tottenham manage to push past Manchester City and Barcelona. Um, it's just incredible, to me, and I give all props to them, because it's not been an easy year. Those players at the end of this year are going to be completely spent. You know,
Absolutely.
like they're
And
going to be dead.
well, I definitely look forward to June 1st, as we will watch Liverpool, Tottenham in Madrid. Everybody, get your drinks out and get your shots up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know
Well,
that
we'll
we're definitely
we'll
going to be.
definitely gonna have them up. So, what kind of shot should we drink? Like, what kind of shot would you want to drink?
I don't know, man. That is to be determined right now.
I'm trying to think. That tequila that I've
Don't
been
get no
drinking
damn
on,
tequila. Don't get no damn tequila. No.
I probably shouldn't, but like that, it has been actually pretty good with the orange juice lately.
Mm-mm.
But I'm trying
I
to
ain't doing
think.
no tequila.
Should we do like an English like whiskey, or
We're gonna have to
I
figure
feel
out why don't
I
we
feel
why
like,
don't we ask why don't we ask the public?
ooh, yes, listeners, what should we drink? Suggestions. What should we do, a
We're gonna
bowl or
put something.
something?
We're gonna put something up on the story. We're gonna put. We'll get a poll.
Yeah, let's do a poll or something. Let's see
We'll
what.
poll
All right. Yeah.
for sure.
Listeners should tell us what we should drink. That should be fun.
Exactly.
All
So,
right.
Keenan, we got to wrap up here, but I want to talk to you about Game of Thrones. I was up at LA this weekend. Now I'm back down in Orange County right now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you about Game of Thrones, man. So I decided to do something out of the ordinary, people. I decided to watch Game of Thrones without ever watching any episodes, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Okay.
He watched
You
the
don't know what's
third to
going on.
last episode out of 83 episodes. He watched
I did not
out
do
of
that.
86 episodes, he watched the 83rd.
That's exactly right. I watched an episode of Game of Thrones, and I had no idea what was going on, but I still thought it was thoroughly entertaining. What's up? Tell the people what's going on, man. What's going down?
Um, If I'm being honest, I'm kind of over Game of Thrones.
What?
Like, I feel like after that third episode, when spoiler alert for all you listeners who haven't watched or who aren't caught up on Game of Thrones, if you aren't caught up, I'd hate to tell you to stop listening right now, but maybe it's in your best interest. But after Arya killed the Night King, I felt like Walking Dead fans felt when Glenn got killed. Once
Wow.
Glenn got killed off of Walking Dead, so many people stopped watching The Walking Dead to where that's kind of how I feel after the Night King got killed. I was like, I'm so done with this show, and the only reason why I'm going to continue to watch is because there's only 3 more episodes left. Which now at this point there's only 2 more episodes left, so I might as well just finish. I've been watching literally since the first night that it aired 10 years ago. I've been watching ever since then, and there's no reason for me not to finish it out at this point. But I'm extremely disappointed in the season. I think a lot of people are. It seems like everything's been rushed, kind of phoned in, and I have not been pleased with this season whatsoever so far. And like I said, I think a lot of people have the same sentiment, because a friend of mine, a coworker okay, so this is how serious it is. At work, every Monday, me and like 2-3 other people like convene in the kitchen at 4 p.m. and we talk about the Game of Thrones. Like, we talk about like what happened in the last episode. And we talk there for like 30-40 minutes. Like, it's a hot minute that we sit like
Really?
stand there and talk. Yeah, it's just like we talk about our thoughts, what we think about it, what's gonna happen, what might happen. No, it's serious. But it's just like one of my friends who he sent me like this this tweet where it was like, writers of Game of Thrones in the first season versus the 8th season, and it was like the first part is like this horse, and like the back of it is like so beautifully like drawn. It's like very detailed, and then like as it continues, it like morphs into like this kindergarten version of a horse. Like,
I've seen that meme.
like
I've
it's so
seen that meme.
it's so bad. I'm just like so disappointed in what they decided to do this season to kind of wrap it up. And so I'm just kind of over it right now. I think I'm just at the point where it's just, all right, what's the finale? What's gonna happen? What did y'all decide to do? Because without the Night King and the White Walkers, I'm kind of over it. Like, that was supposed to be, this season to me was supposed to be the season of the White Walkers and the battle and the fight against them. And what we got was 1 episode. And for me to be waiting 10 years for this impending death that we were all supposed to witness, and for us to get 1 episode of that, complete letdown, in my opinion. So I'm kind of over it, and I'm just ready for it to end, basically.
Well, we still have 3 more episodes left. You never know what's going to happen. And guess what, Keenan?
We got 2.
There. Oh, you got 2 episodes left. I'm sorry.
2.
Well, yep. I'm going to be right there watching both of them episodes with you.
Okay. All
right. Because I want to see how you're going to react. But this has been another episode of the Sports Drink Club. Even though Keenan is very disappointed in Game of Thrones, we want to hear your opinion, people. Are you disappointed in Game of Thrones too? Also, I know that we're going to be starting our Breakfast of Champions. Okay. We want to see what type of breakfast people are eating. The winner will get something from SDC. We have no idea what it's going to be.
What, it'll be like a gift card to IHOP?
I don't know. SDC may be rolling on something that y'all don't even know we rolling on yet. You know what I mean?
and waffles for all you people out here in Los Angeles, like chicken and waffles.
That's exactly right. Chicken and waffles fans out there coming up the woodworks. We will be explaining the rules and all that stuff a little bit later on. But right now, we are out. It has been great, Keenan.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, we need to take a shot
for every shot on goal.
For every shot on goal.
Yes.
Who knows what's going to happen. But I am Patrick Melton. This has been the Sports Drink Club along with my co-host Keenan Duke. Drinks up. And
drinks up, man.
We'll see you.
All right, man. I'll holler at you later.